pass a message, and the message is quite a deep one. I hope you can receive it. What we received from Mr. Paul Chan just now. Yeah, it was very enlightening, and it is a process of life, and we are really talking about what is our duties in life, and as a leader, we have more opportunities to influence other people's lives. So let me start here. True leadership is selfless, meaningful, effective, and lasting. There are many kinds of leaders. The objective of this talk on leadership is to exclude an unexpected, distinctive, unequivocal smell. The smell to the nation and indeed to the world at large. The talk on leadership to exude this smell to everybody else. To the enlightened, these initials of smell will exude an extraordinary fragrance. To the worldly, it will be a scent. It evaporates away. To some, it may even be a foul smell. So you take it home with you, whether it is fragrance or foul or just a scent. This talk will not reveal anything new. You all have enough experience. You know what life is. It's a presentation to highlight what's already in existence. This talk will expose the salient points which have not been noticed or have been ignored or sidetracked or distracted or diluted. I'm bringing now the message to the forefront. What is a leader? A leader is a directing head, somebody who's got somebody that he can direct. A leader who has a subordinate or subordinates or junior that he influences. And what is the role of a leader? The role of a leader is to guide, to direct, to impart knowledge or skills or attributes under his charge or influence in his field of capacity. A leader, therefore, is in a position of influence. It's important. In the world at large, this can be one or two or three categories. Can be in the spiritual realm, can be in the financial realm, can be certain capabilities, can be physical, can be intellectual, can be organizational, can be management, can be in business, can be in life and wisdom, philosophy, can be in other specialized fields. A leader must possess or is believed to possess the required skills in his field of specialty, or he will not be a leader anymore. In whatever field, the particular leader, he may be selfish, he leads people for himself. He may be opportunistic, he leads people to get opportune things for himself or for the group. He may be manipulative, may be very ambitious to do things beyond himself, may be self-centered for his ego, may be normal life, can be inclined to contribute to society or to his organization or to whatever institution that he belongs to or grouping. It can be a generous purpose, can be selfless. That means all for others. So there are different levels of contribution. A leader may lead those under his charge to be wholly for the leader's cause. If you look at, let's say, the triads and so on, they have their own cause for their own purpose. He leads his followers to do that. Or it can be a religious organization leading others for the spiritual cause. So this is for the leader's cause, or partially for the leader's cause, or for both the leader's cause and the chargee's benefit, or principally for others, for the chargee, for the recipient. A leader has a great duty because he's in a position of influence. A leader can impart great benefits to others. He can also cause harm or destruction to others. Thus, a leader has very great responsibility. That's the introduction of what the leadership in the field, in the world is all about. What's the highest criteria of a good leader? One who's selfless. I think 1 in 10,000. Most people are not selfless. One who has the objective of giving his best to the organization or persons under his influence. This brings us to the topic of today. What is true leadership? The role of a true leader must be to influence the organization or persons to bring about positive improvements or changes that are meaningful, effective, and lasting. It must be of good to somebody else. The benefits is attained by all. Everybody benefits. To the contributor as well as to the person being contributed to the family, to society, to the whole world. To accomplish this well, the leader will need to be selfless and deliver his message with love. Love is a very special word. Most people, they know it, but they don't know how to contribute it. Love is doing something for others. It's always with others in mind. It's not for oneself. What is true leadership? The true leadership is intertwined with these 5 necessary concepts, which is the subject of my talk today. Selfless, meaningful, effective, lasting, and with love. We shall now dwell into these attributes. Selfless is the key attribute. Selfless is a very rare, all-important attribute of the leader. That means he does nothing for himself, he does everything for others. A true leader has to be selfless in imparting his knowledge or skill. Otherwise, the recipient will only acquire ordinary traits of knowledge. Benefits will only be superficial or temporary if the leader is not selfless. Like, for example, if you're an instructor, you instruct somebody, whether it's in Kung Fu fighting or in AI or whatever, when he's not selfless, he imparts a certain percentage. He may give 70% away and keep 30% for himself. But the selfless leader will impart everything. An ordinary leader can only impart ordinary attributes. An extraordinary leader will impart extraordinary attributes. A good leader will be well endowed and based on his or her knowledge and skill and experience will be able to impart meaningful knowledge, skill, and experience. The greater you are, the more you know, the more you can impart to others. A truly great leader needs to be selfless. As he is selfless, he will deliver all that he has. This would serve to improve the subordinates as well as the benefits of others. It will have a multiplier effect. That means when somebody does that, he will empower 5 or 50 people, and the 5 or 50 people learning from him will impart to another 5, another 50 people, and it goes on and on and on. And that's why we have a world now that is functioning because of selfless leaders. Most of the leaders are not selfless. So most of the time we're not progressing very well. The progress that we have comes from a very few number of people that has contributed to the world, many of whom we don't even notice. And this will benefit others, the nation, and the whole mankind. Next, meaningfulness. This impartation of knowledge, this influencing of the next generation is very meaningful. As a leader is selfless, he is of unusual quality because not many people have got this attribute. The selfless leader will possess wisdom. If he's selfless, he must have wisdom. He cannot do this on his own. He cannot do this for whatever purpose. He's got something exceptional. And his actions or messages must be based on truth. It all ties up, like just now what Dato' Paul Chan was saying. Whatever he's saying, you can feel the spiritual message that goes along with it. Because he's not just giving an ordinary message. So this self-leader must be based on truth, and truth is based on God. No matter what we do, we come back to the Almighty. He'll be able to deliver or impart messages and knowledge of substance. It won't be ordinary messages. His message and contributions will be most meaningful and valuable to the recipient. He will impart meaningful traits, attributes, skills to the next generation. His or her messages and skills and knowledge will be in-depth and create great impact on his subordinates or his listeners. Hence, the benefits of his actions and messages will be meaningful, long-term, and lasting. In fact, it will be lasting, and it's likely to be bordering on the spiritual, as it will be anchored on the everlasting, and it will be everlasting. Whatever good knowledge that you learn is not just for this world. It goes on, it carries on with you. His or her messages and influence will be deep and profound, will be effective in building up subordinates for greater roles in life. And that's why our society has got so much progress over the last generations, and because there were selfless people before, not opportunistic people before. A good leader sets good examples. He will be a good influence on others. This setting up a good example and the impartation of good attributes on others would serve to improve the quality of the subordinates, and this will have a multiplier effect, which we mentioned before. This will benefit others, the nation, and finally to the whole world, to mankind. The benefits will be immeasurable, priceless. We are the recipients of that so far here, without knowing it. These messages will be very effective. As the value pursued and imparted are good, and the effort of the leader is selfless, the outcome will be ideal and effective. You can't lose. It goes on. The benefits will be outreaching and will accrue to the recipients and all of them, and to all their associates and families, and ultimately to the whole nation, to everybody at large. In the world where selfishness and ill intentions proliferate, the work initiated by a true leader will counter the misguided values and deeds of the world and will be most effective and priceless. You've got a group of people, a majority, who doesn't follow this, who are selfish, and you've got a small group of people, a tiny group of people, who are contributing and contributing and contributing. It is in conflict. It will fight each other. But ultimately, we know who will win. It will be lasting. The truth is permanent. You cannot erase it. You cannot change it. Thus, the leadership that is based on truth will be lasting. It cannot fail. In fact, when carried out perfectly, it will last forever. And in this world so far, not many people have carried out perfectly. Some have that we do not know, but many have contributed a lot to the world. So we are getting the benefits of this. And for us who know this, it's for us now to spread it out and have an everlasting effect, and the multiplier effect will be seen. No doubt such leaders who are selfless and deliver results that are meaningful, effective, and lasting are rare, very few. But in reality, the qualities of such leader this is what's required in the world. Or the world is heading for perdition. Everybody thinking of themselves, doing their own things, is heading nowhere. And that's what is happening in many, many parts of the world now, even at certain times in certain countries all the time, you know. With such leaders and their contributions, the recipients and the world will benefit enormously and eternally from it. It must be given with love. You don't do all these things for nothing. They do not do this for benefit. So it must be based on a giving, a total giving, a selfless giving. It must be based on love. Nothing good and lasting evolves in this world without love. Without love, we can be fighting and having conflicts and having problems and having difficulties and having suffering and all that. It goes on and on and on. And that's what we see in the world today also. Unless we inject in pure love, where there is no requirement of anything except for your good. Unknown to most, the introduction of love stabilizes the world, adds immeasurable value and permanency to the task, to the operation, or to the business. So you do something just for doing it, just to do well, you will win, and it will add permanency to the business. When delivered with love and not for profit or other motive, the result will be most meaningful, effective, and lasting. In fact, the leader leading this way assists and directs his audience not only to success in this world, but to the everlasting world as well. It's a continuation. If this person is doing it just for this world, he's a fool. After this world, there's nothing left. He's wasted 70 years, 80 years of life. No, there's something else. It's towards the everlasting life. So the smell is a fragrance leading to the everlasting. Conclusion. This is what this talk is all about. After the introduction about giving, about love, about being meaningful and effective, what's the role of entrepreneur for driving Malaysia's growth? On the surface, statistics show that the government machinery, any government machinery, whether it's US or Britain or anybody, is the most effective organization to drive growth for the economy because they have money. they got power. However, a deeper study will reveal that it is not the most cost-effective. Whatever, when you use other people's money, when you are in the government, you use that money, it is not the most cost-effective, but it is, just like here, for example, you build this fantastic building, the tallest in Malaysia, with all the roads leading here. Yes, it's very impressive. If you can see it's an impact. But is it the most cost-effective? You consider it yourself. Neither is it likely to be lasting. I tell you the reasons why. The growth driven are often not meaningful, effective, or lasting. It is impactful. But is it the most meaningful? Consider it yourself. The reason is that the appointed drivers of government or government-supported organizations do not have skin in an enterprise. We make or lose, doesn't matter, I've done my job, I've delivered. Win or lose, they do not lose. The profit risk analysis is poor analysis, are thus not fully utilized. There's no risk benefit. They need to do it, they do it. As ownership of the government-supported undertaking is not the same as that of the entrepreneurs, the management decisions taken in the operations are often less effective. So the entrepreneur, his skin is in the game. He needs to invest another $20,000. Wow, $20,000. What is this? What do I get in return? There's a great difference when the entrepreneur is fully involved in the operations, management, and supervision of the business at hand. Hence, the accuracy and quality of the entrepreneur's decision is superior to that of the appointed leader. The appointed leader has got no skin in the game, and most of them will take the easy way out or the conservative way out. Don't get into trouble. The entrepreneur will calculate, yes, I have to invest this 200,000. I'm taking the risk, yes, but my reward will be 2 million. He'll go in. He'll go in 10 times. The 200,000, he look at the 10 times, he may win 50% of the time or 70% of the time. He takes the risk. You're going to ask the government servant, no. If I don't succeed, I get sacked. So this is the difference of, looking at risk analysis. Correct, meaningful, effective decisions have an great everlasting impact on the enterprise. For the reasons outlined above, entrepreneurs are often the driving force of the nation. You look at what China is doing now. China has got a lot of entrepreneurs coming out. They were curtailed. Like Jack Ma is one good example. Now they want him back. He's the one who can invest and get things moving, not the Politburo of the Communist Party. It is these private people, Huawei. They are the ones who drive up the economy. Same with what happens in the US, in the UK, in Singapore, and also to a certain extent here. So it's the entrepreneurs that drive the economy. Government-supported enterprises all over the world give impression or notion that they are the effective contributors because they do big things. They build the Twin Towers. This is due to the vast resources available to them. The size and impact of contributions of private enterprises of the entrepreneur are not as significant. The size not as significant, not contribution. However, the impression is likely to be very misleading. The returns and benefits derived from the private independent enterprises are likely to be many, many fold higher, especially when return or use of capital is taken into consideration. They may invest very little money and achieve a lot, like Elon Musk. No US government, no government in the world will be able to do that. The employment of commitment and ownership and injection of selflessness and love are much more prevalent in private enterprises. In private enterprises, they put in their ownership, their love, their skin in the game, their ownership, their selflessness. They put in all that they have. You hardly find this in non-entrepreneurs, hardly. These attributes are all important in generation of growth and benefits to the organization or to any nation. In this delivery, I hope this message is deepened with the inclusion of this selflessness and love. So I hope also, and I encourage all the people who are working in organizations, big organizations, or in government, to put in their selflessness. Because after all, this world is a short world. If they work for this world, no matter where they end up, to the very top of the organization, it's a short world. We have to leave this world. Like just now, what Dr. Paul has said, that he may have another 10 years, 15 years, whatever, is a limited time. So have I a limited time. So all of you have a limited time. So we put in our selflessness. We're not looking for anything in this world. We're just looking to do our best and give our all our love and everything. And people won't believe us. It doesn't matter. We go on. We go on until we succeed, until people believe us. These two attributes are crucial to the success of any work and are often missed, ignored, compromised, sidetracked. When these two attributes are introduced into any assignment, the impact of the delivery will be largely enhanced. If not, you're doing small things. You want to do big things, you must inject selflessness and love. The result will be meaningful, long-lasting, and will lead us beyond this physical life. Yes, even to the everlasting life to come. Thank you.
Thank you once again, Mr. Peter Chan, who has been to the Haven Resort. I'm sure you run it with love as well. Thank you. Thank you very much.